If you struggle with your winged liner, if you can't quite get that crisp, black, perfect winged liner of your dreams, this video is for you. I'm a professional makeup artist and I'm going to be showing you my 3-step perfect winged liner routine. This is really easy for beginners. It's pretty foolproof, so I'm excited to show you exactly how to achieve this look. This eye is complete with my technique. You get that really rich black perfect liner. You get that lifted cat eye shape versus this eye has no winged liner. You can see the difference is pretty crazy. And this particular technique also makes your eyeliner budge proof. It makes it very long lasting and will not smudge or budge throughout the day. So I know a lot of you will really appreciate that because there's nothing worse than spending so much time on your winged liner and having it smudge all over the place. So let's get right into the technique, shall we? I am just gonna pin back my hair a little bit so it's out of my eyes. So step 1 is going to be your pencil or gel liner. There are a lot of different products out there that you can use. I like using a pencil, but if you want to use a gel eyeliner that's in a pot, Bobbi Brown does a really good one, Inglot does a really good one as well. I'm going to link those down below, as well as every single product I use today. I'm going to link the exact ones that I used in the description box, so be sure to check that out. I've got 2 different pencils with me today, and it's because they're for different things. The first one is by Prada Beauty. This is their durable gliding eye pencil in the shade Narrow. This one does not budge, it stays in place all day, it really sets down. For me, there's nothing worse than applying a pencil liner and then just having it transfer all over the place, especially if you're applying it in the waterline or even on your lid and it transfers to your upper lid and gives you raccoon eyes. It's just not cute. So I do really depend on this one. I also really love the Dior one. I will also link that one. That one is so good, so budge proof. And on the other hand, I have the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal liner in the shade Black. This one is a little bit more creamy, a little bit more forgiving, a little bit more easy to blend. Still very pigmented, one of my favorite eye pencils as well, just for a different purpose. So let's get into this step. I'm using the Prada pencil first, and I'm going to be applying that on my tight line. The tight line is that little area of skin between your eye and your lashes. Filling this in is going to give you the appearance of a darker lash line as well as longer lashes. It's going to deepen the look of your winged liner and make it look really perfected and complete. I find that without this step, it looks like there's a bit of a gap between the liner and the eye, and this step just fills in that gap. Especially if you're going to be taking photos, I highly recommend this step, especially with this product or the Dior one I mentioned, because the last thing you want is this smudging on you. I just wiggle this between every lash until all those little gaps are filled in. So take your time with this. I do just want to mention I am a contact lens wearer. I'm wearing colored contacts today, so I'll link the ones that I'm wearing down below in case you like them. These are really pretty blue color and these are so comfortable. Already, I notice such a difference with that step, but now I'm going to go in with my second pencil, the one by Victoria Beckham Beauty. And I'm using this pencil to map out my winged liner. I'm starting with the lash line. I'm hugging this very close to my lashes. You do not want this too thick, especially right off the bat. It's easier to add more than to take away. I'm applying it thickest on the outer corner and tapering it in slightly as I approach my inner corner. I'm taking it about halfway across my lid. And then once I have my lash line covered, I'm going to move on to that wing on the outer corner. For the outer corner, a little trick I like to use is I imagine if my bottom waterline were to just keep extending upwards, where would it go? And that is where I draw my winged liner. So I just imagine this line underneath my eye continuing, and that is a really nice natural shape for me. If you have hooded eyes, you're going to want to avoid applying that liner in the crease of your eye. You don't want to apply this product into any folds because that's going to cause transfer. And by the way, you want to be using a sharp pencil for this entire process. Using a dull pencil is not going to work in your favor. So I'm going in and building out that winged liner shape using that exact method I just described. I'm really taking my time with this. Again, not over applying. You can always add more, but it's a lot harder to take away. Throughout this entire process, I'm almost tapping that liner instead of really heavily dragging it. I'm almost applying little dots of the product. It's a bit more of a forgiving technique to apply liner this way. So as I'm sure you can see, this liner isn't completely perfect yet at this stage, and that is okay. We're gonna actually blend that pencil to perfect the edges using a small angled brush. I love this one from Prada Beauty. This one is great. This one's a little bit smaller, so I'm gonna use this today, but this is no name. I don't think you can actually purchase this brush anymore, so maybe I'll try and link something similar. And we're just gonna go over those edges and just soften everything up. This is going to be your opportunity to kind of smooth out any little bumps or mistakes you may have made. I like to soften up the edges and make my wing a little bit more crisp using my brush because I find it a little bit more easy and a little bit more forgiving to do that with a brush instead of with the pencil itself. Okay, so now we're moving on to the second phase of the liner, which is shadow. Something I want to mention really quickly is you can actually stop at any phase of this look. You can just do the pencil liner, you can just do the shadow on top, or you can go all the way to step 3. So moving on to shadow. For this step, you're going to want to use your darkest black shadow that you have. Today, I'm using this one by Natasha Denona. This is her My Dream palette, and I'm using the shade Blackest Black right here, but truly any black shadow that you have will be just fine. Picking up that shadow on my Prada Beauty brush, I'm going to begin to stamp that eyeshadow right on top of the pencil liner we just applied. This not only is going to set this liner in place all day long, but it's also going to deepen the color. Applying shadow on top of the pencil is also going to give the liner more of a deep black cohesive look. So if there is any patchiness, this is going to fix that for you. And you can even further perfect the liner since you're using black shadow on top. In case there still are any spots that aren't completely smooth, you can smooth it out during this step. I am using a matte black shadow, but if you want to use shimmer, by all means, you can use shimmer. Notice how I'm tapping that product instead of just dragging it. This allows me to have way more control over where I apply that product. As you can see, this liner is looking really rich and black. This is going to last you all day, so you can totally stop here, but we're not done yet. We have one more finishing touch, and that final step is liquid liner. I'm going in with this one by Flower Nose. The tip of this winged liner is so thin. I love this winged liner. It's so black. I never hear anyone talk about it, but this is definitely one of my favorite black pen liquid liners. You can use whatever liquid liner you would like though. So for this step, I'm just gonna go over everything we just did, keeping this liner contained within the shape we have already applied, so not going outside of what we already have. Think of it like a coloring book. You're staying inside the lines, not going outside. This is gonna intensify that lash line even more. If you want any really crisp edges anywhere, now is the time. I like to keep this step pretty close to my lash line, so a little bit of what we did underneath is still showing through on top. If you want to apply your liner further into your inner corner, I recommend using the liquid liner for this step. And that is what that winged liner is looking like at this stage. If you're noticing the bottom edge of your liner looking a little messy, you can clean it up with a small brush and some concealer. I'll show you how I do that. I literally just take the tiniest little amount of concealer on the back of my hand. I'm taking a really teeny tiny MAC 231 brush and just going underneath that edge if there's anything you need to clean up. For me, there's not a whole lot of cleanup that I need to do because this technique is so easy and forgiving. I don't often make mistakes when I follow this technique, but you can just go underneath and kind of clean up with a little bit of concealer in this area. Sort of brightens the area as well. I would say that's a pretty perfect winged liner. I get tons of compliments on this liner when I wear it using this technique specifically. I just feel like it looks so good, especially in person, but it looks even better with lashes. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna show you what this looks like all completed with lashes and all. If you wanna know how I do my lashes, I already made a video on it. I'll put it on the screen right here if you wanna check it out, but yeah. And I'm back, lashes are done, the winged liner is complete. This is the finished look and result, you guys. Let me know if you enjoy these kind of tutorials where I really hone in and teach you a specific makeup technique. If you do like it, give it a thumbs up so I know you like it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It only takes a couple seconds and it really does help me out so much. In my last video, I tried a ton of viral new products and so many of them actually let me down. So if you want to know what new products are worth it and which ones are not, check out my last video. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one.